ang ginawa ngayon is selective persecution, selective prosecution. So, dahil dito, ang resulta, instead na mawala ng suporta si BP Sara, lalong it becomes stronger. Yung tingnan mo yung support base niya dito, lalo na sa Mindanao at saka sa Visayan Island, naging resilient ito. Kasi kitang-kita, klarong-klaro na very selective itong ginagawa ngayon ng mga those who are really running after her because they want to prevent her to become our next president. And the people saw it, and the people realized it, understand it. So, hindi ito nila pwedeng mabaliwala. Until when man yung responsibility ng isang impeachable official. Kaya nga, yung impeachment process, yung accountability under the Constitution, it is only reserved for high crimes and misdemeanors committed by yung identified high officials of the government during their yung period na where they can be subject for impeachment. Kung ganito pala mangyayari, wala nang katapusan. So kahit na yung when you were still in elementary, in college, or anong taon, any activity na ginagawa mo, pwede palang kalkalin outside of the term of your office that in which you are subject for an impeachment.
Piatos. Ano ang tingin mo dito, attorney, sa ganitong klase na mga pahayag, lalo na sa prosecution?
Well, that is their prerogative. Pero it might compromise the security of the person who was used as a witness by the office of the Vice President or in her capacity as a Secretary of the DepEd at the time to be a confidential agent working under a certain mission. Now, yung nature naman ng espionage o yung mga secret agent ka, kailangan yung confidentiality diyan eh. So, it might expose her yung danger ng kanyang life at saka baka it can create a bad precedent sa mga confidential activities ng ating mga law enforcement bodies and agencies. Kasi that is the very nature of yung being a confidential agent.
Opo. Maliban dito kay Mary Grace Piatos, gusto rin nilang gawin na witness or ipapatawag nila itong sheriff na nasuntok o nasapak ni Vice President Sara way back 2011 pa. Nung panoong mayor pa siya na hindi naman siya impeachable official pa. Ano po ang pananaw niyo po rito, attorney?
It's very laughable and it's slap or insult to our Constitution. Kasi yung impeachment process naman, kasamang ADMAR, is not, the strength of the impeachment process is not measured by the volume of evidence presented by the prosecution, but also its credibility, admissibility, and relevance in accordance to our Constitution, our existing rules. Ngayon, ang tanong diyan, until when man yung responsibility ng isang impeachable official. Kaya nga, yung impeachment process, yung accountability under the Constitution, it is only reserved for high crimes and misdemeanors committed by yung identified high officials of the government during their yung period na where they can be subject for impeachment. Kung ganito pala mangyayari, wala nang katapusan. So kahit na yung when you were still in elementary, in college, or anong taon, any activity na ginagawa mo, pwede palang kalkalin outside of the term of your office that in which you are subject for an impeachment, being one of the highest officials in the land. That is not the intention of the Constitution. Pero at any rate, klaro masyado Kasama Admar na what they're trying to achieve is not really accountability but political demolition against the Vice President.
Pwede bang tumanggi yung sheriff na yun, dating sheriff na yun, na lumahok dito sa impeachment?
I don't know. Baka hindi siya makatanggi because of the possibility of being cited in contempt. I don't know. Pero yung relevance naman diyan, ang question diyan yung relevance of the evidence. Kung what will happen if the counsel or the defense team of the Vice President will stipulate that it really happened. The way it happened, it was reported. So what is there to argue if that is an undisputed fact?
Opo.
So there is no need anymore to present if that would be admitted by the defense that indeed that incident took place and the person that was the subject of that incident was really that person. There is no question about his identity. So to me, that is part of the pre-trial, yung stipulation. So if that is admitted, what is the need of that person to be called and presented during the impeachment trial?
Opo, speaking of itong dating sheriff, ipakita lang natin na attorney ha, yung recent niya na post, no. Ang sabi niya dito, public announcement, please do not involve me in any partisan political matters. I have been appointed in the Supreme Court as a Human Resource Management Officer, a second-level position. It is my position ever since to refuse to comment on the incident when I was holding a first-level position, particularly Sheriff 4 of the Regional Trial Court. The media reports are self-explanatory. Actually, nandun pa ako sa Davao City nito, attorney, nung mangyari yung insidente. At nagkaayos na ito sila eh. Si Vice President o then Mayor Sara Duterte at ito ngang si Ginoong Abby Andres, attorney.
Exactly. That's the point. That would expose the diabolical intention of the prosecution, that they are not after accountability but their main objective talaga, which is now being exposed, is really political in character, to demolish the credibility of the Vice President, to yung mudslinging, lahat ng propaganda ito eh. So ang tanong nito, will they succeed? I don't think so.
Opo, attorney, bigyan lang natin ng konteksto, no? Lalo na yung mga hindi nakakaalala. Ano bang nangyari? Bakit nasapak ba yun ng Mayor Sara? Kasi during that time, nandun din ako eh, nagkaroon ng kalamidad sa Davao. Kung maalala mo, attorney, yung Davao River namaga, marami mga kabayan pinasok ng baha, lagpas tao na, marami ding bilang ng mga nasawi. During that time, nanguna itong si Mayor, Vice President Sara Duterte, sa pagtulong sa mga apektado ng kalamidad at humihiling siya na pwede mag-extend pa ng at least 2 hours kasi pupunta ako dyan at hindi makikinig sa inyo yung mga tao, kakausapin ko sila. Pero bigyan mo ako ng 2 hours pa na dagdag kasi nga merong inaasikaso. So kumbaga marami ng mga factors attorney, kasi malala ang nangyari po sa Davao City during that time at ito na nga yung nangyari. Kumbaga, baka isipin nila na sinuntok na lang diretso ni BP Sara ng walang dahilan, kumbaga. Pero alam natin, hindi naman talaga acceptable yung pag ano. Pero para at least merong konteksto tayo, bakit nangyari itong ganito, attorney?
Exactly. In fact, that event endeared BP Sara to the hearts of the Davaoenos and even to the Filipinos who were watching that particular episode. Kasi nakita mo yung kaniyang leadership at saka yung malasakit niya sa mga aping-api at saka yung mga marginalized sectors or people in Davao who needed leadership, who needed help at that time. So, to me, that would not be a negative, parang that could not create a negative impact on her image as a person. In fact, it would bolster her image being a no-nonsense leader.
Opo, kung kukunin natin yung logic nitong nasa prosecution na gagamitin nila itong dating sheriff, bakit hindi nila ipatawag din yung ibang mga ahensya ng gobyerno na gumagamit ng Intel at confidential fund? Paano ba nila ginamit itong kanilang mga pondong ganito? At bukod tangi lang ba ang Vice President ang may ganitong sitwasyon, attorney?
Kaya nga, Admar, nakikita mo ngayon, people are watching, people understand what is happening. It is, ang ginawa ngayon is selective persecution, selective prosecution. So, dahil dito, ang resulta, instead na mawala ng suporta si BP Sara, lalong it becomes stronger. Yung tingnan mo yung support base niya dito, lalo na sa Mindanao at saka sa Visayan Island, naging resilient ito. Kasi kitang-kita, klarong-klaro na very selective itong ginagawa ngayon ng mga those who are really running after her because they want to prevent her to become our next president. And the people saw it, and the people realized it, understand it. So, hindi ito nila pwedeng mabaliwala sa mga kaisipan at saka yung pagtingin ng mga tao. Hindi pwede talaga, di ka na blind the people, and the people are responding. Makita mo ngayon yung mga surveys after surveys, the Vice President's approval rating remains steady. No, at saka yung preference sa kanya ay lalong mataas. Kasi hindi ito kapareho sa nangyari kay Vice President Binay. Iba itong sitwasyon ni Vice President Sara Duterte. The more natitirahin mo siya, the more ang simpatiya ng mga tao ay titibay. Kasi ayaw ng mga Pilipinos yung aapihin tayo. Tingnan mo nangyayari ngayon sa yung basketball player. Tingnan mo dito sa amin sa Agusan. Talagang masakit kasi makita natin yung sympathy ba. Although hindi ba ito politika, pero makita mo yung mayroong aspect nito na pang-aapi. Kaya nga, kung aapihin mo ang tao, lalong ang mga supporters nito ay magalvanized, ma-unify mo. Kasi para itong agos ng tubig, hindi mapipigilan.
Opo. Dito po tayo sa naging mga ganap sa pre-trial, no. Marami tayong mga naririnig kasi ang medyo mas maingay dito itong sa prosecution, no. Na kesyo, tunog lata, meron pang mga pahayag na dapat dumalo si Vice President Sara Duterte, tapos meron pang mga pahayag sila na dapat para mapabilis kung same lang din naman ng mga documents yung gagamitin nila, Same lang yung marking, para dire-diretso, tapos may paliwanag ang depensa rito kasi may mga instance pala na yes, same yung documents pero merong kulang ang pahina. Yung isa photocopy, yung isa certified through copy. Medyo maingay ang nasa prosecution po. Pero sabi nga ng mga abogado rin na nakakapanayam ko, attorney, kung nakikita mo ang kalaban mo, halimbawa kasi tingin nila parang mga mali ang ginagawa ng nasa depensa sa panig ni Vice President Sara Duterte, dapat pabayaan mo. Kasi pabor yan sa iyo. Pero dito, meron silang mga puna. Anong basa nyo po dito, attorney?
Makita mo naman yung kasabihan na kung yung tubig ay yung
Malalim,
yung malalim, di ba, kuhan yan, tahimik.
tahimik.
Pero kung ang tubig ay mababaw, noisy yan eh. Di ba? Ngayon, kaya nga, the purpose of pre-trial, yan ang para ma-clarify yung issues, ma-define ang issues, yung mga marking of documentary evidence, para plastado na ba? Walang surprise dito. Identification of witnesses para malaman din kung sino yung witnesses. Unlike before na susulpot bigla lang yung witness na hindi mo alam kung saan galing. So, yan ang what is being avoided kasi violation yan ng due process. At saka yung dapat yung mga objections, makonsider na. Kunwari, for example, yung evidence na photocopy, that is objectionable. Kasi kailangan sa documentary evidence, it should be original. At saka yung i-simplify yung proceedings. Kasi, for example, like yung sa sheriff, what is the need? Assuming lang, what is the need to present that sheriff if that particular allegation is being admitted and accepted by the defense that it has happened? Iba lang yung context as what being explained by you. Alam naman ng buong Pilipinas ang nangyayari na yan. Dahil actually, kung i-revive yung mga pangyayari na yan, yung konteksto, lalong magpapatibay yan sa yung image ng ating Vice President.
Opo. Dito po kasi alam natin, impeachment court, hindi talaga regular court, no? May halong politika din talaga ito. Kaya ba nagiging may mga ganitong klase ng propaganda o mga pahayag dahil maliban sa impeachment court, haharap din si Vice President Sara Duterte sa Court of Public
Opinion.
Court of Public Opinion, attorney.
Yun nga, the purpose talaga is sui generis ito. Hindi ito purely judicial. In fact, hybrid 80% to my mind is political. So away ito ng politika. Political perception. Sige nga, kung ganyan ang approach nila, I think the Vice President is also prepared to engage that kind of political battle. So it's a battle of winning the hearts and minds of the people. At the end of the day, makikita natin ngayon kung yung impeachment by yung House of Representatives being supported by Malacanang, yung kanilang move na yun, yung would it succeed or will it backfire? Kung ganyan ang kanilang approach. Kasi wala talagang ebidensya dito eh. To my mind, kung titirahin mo si BP Sara sa confidential fund, paano na ngayon yung mga confidential funds ng ating presidente, yung ating mga Secretary of National Defense, sa ating mga armed forces, sa PNP, lahat ng mga nandiyan sa security sector. Now, that would create a bad precedent na hindi naman talaga ang intention niya. Kaya nga, Admar, yung Mossad, yung CIA, wala yan silang, they are not required to disclose how these confidential funds are being spent. In fact, we are also like that. Isang certification lang. Kasi confidential nga eh. Now, kung gagamitin yan, assuming ma-force si Vice President at saka yung kanyang team to present piatos, kung sino man yan, kawawa yung tao na yan. So, it would boomerang yung reality ba about how these confidential funds are to be spent. Now, you are talking about 125 million. Paano mo ba yan ibibenta if the trillions of pesos na ninakaw as a result of the ghost flood control projects, non-existent. Paano mo yan ibenta kung yung flood control projects na ghost amounting to trillions as being reported, hindi mo pa nga iniimbestiga? So, talagang makita mo yung gross disparity diyan eh. Si Vice President Sara Duterte is that one of those being reported to have received a maleta of funds. And Vice President Sara Duterte is that one of the officials na mayroong insertions sa GAA. But pag initan mo siya sa isang amount na as parang minuscule as compared to the huge amounts na talagang being wasted and being pocketed to the corrupt officials na wala man lang investigation tinatakpan. So, ito palang dalawang narrative na ito, Admar, makita mo na talaga ang injustice at saka yung persecution.
Opo,
Pangalawa,
sige po.
itong sa about tax records, may batas man talaga na these mga tax records mo are confidential in character. O ngayon, habulin mo pa yung kanyang asawa. Meron namang batas tayo, Data Privacy Act. Unless kung makonect mo yan, may nexus, connection, na ginamit yan for graft and corruption purposes, that's the time that can be open. Pero kung wala yung nexus connection yan pwede yan. That is fishing expedition.
Opo, dito naman po sa posibilidad na mag-issue ng gag order. Kakayanin ba kaya yan, attorney, yung impeachment court? Oh, wag kayong maingay sa labas, dito lang sa korte kasi televise din naman ito eh.
Now, paano ba yung court of public opinion?
Baka wala nang bintay nila.
The impeachment should be done in a transparent manner. Kailangan yan eh. Because kaya nga people should be informed kung ano, kasi Sara Duterte was elected by 32 million Filipinos. And this mandate should not just be thrown away by a mere yung whimsical and capricious manner of removing her through parang manipulated at saka invented na mga allegations. People should know why their candidate, why their official that they voted must be removed from office. Did she really violate an impeachable offense? Kasi kung meron mang mga crimes, for example, yung grave threats, kaya nga meron man tayong criminal case. Meron man tayong criminal proceeding. Meron man tayong administrative proceeding. Kaya nga, iba itong nature ng impeachment proceeding kasi this involve high crimes and misdemeanors. Kaya nga yung mga lower crimes, meron tayong mechanism dyan to address. Now, kung pati yung event na tatapos na because may context dyan, kalkalin mo pa, Ano ba yung impeachment na yan? Nga, dapat sana yung impeachment process I would only be limited to the acts that the impeachable official, like in the case of BP Sara, only those acts that she allegedly committed during 2022 up to the present. Kasi ito yung position as Vice President na siya ay being impeached and being tried in the Senate. Hindi man kasama yung when he was still a mayor. So, ganito yung logic yan. Kung mag-umpisa, normally yung mga politician, umpisa yan siya konsehal, pagkatapos mayor, pagkatapos vice governor or governor, congressman, senator, and then kung siswertehin man, maging presidente o maging vice president, kailangan ba yung mga acts mo as konsehal, mayor, vice governor, congressman, at saka yung governor, kailangan ba kalkalin yun? Wala naman yan. Hindi naman yan ang intention ng batas. Kasi assuming you may have committed acts during those times, may batas naman to address. So, ngayon, nakasundo sila. So what's the issue there? So it is now really a case of witch hunting that is not the intention of the framers of our Constitution when they drafted this article on accountability, wherein the rules, the procedure of impeachment are being laid down by the Constitution.
Opo, at ito rin po ba yung dahilan din po yung sinasabi niyong pagkakaiba sa regular court dito sa impeachment proceeding, attorney? Kung bakit ang wisdom ng mga framers ng 1987 Constitution ay ginawang 2/3 o super majority o kailangan ng 16 na boto para ma-impeach ang isang individual?
Yes, because the official that is a subject of an impeachment ay malalaking official. Like for example, Presidente, Vice President, may mandate ka sa tao because you were elected by the people. Hindi pwede i-disenfranchise mo ang tao. Kaya nga, if you are being removed by political actors like senators who are also given mandate by the people, kaya nga they have to balance that. Kung kailangan ba kung meron ba talagang basihan ito. Kaya nga yung threshold ay 2/3. Yan naman din doon sa I think in the US Constitution 2/3 in doon. If I'm not mistaken. Kailangan super majority talaga.
Po. Dito naman po sa sa preside. Kasi nung una, ito yung parang nagtataka ko. Nung una, 'di ba, nagkaroon ng reorganization kahit 12 sila, binakante nila, meron silang acting Senate President, tapos meron silang pagbabago doon sa impeachment at sa kanilang pagbabago, pwede silang pumili sa kung sino ang magiging presiding officer based sa rules, no? Kasi sa 1987 ang malinaw lang ata Constitution, ang presidente, Chief Justice. Yun lang yata yung malinaw. So dito tayo sa rules ng Senate. Pero questionable yung set of na yun. Yung mga senador. Kini-question yun sa Korte Suprema, yung kanilang mga hakbang during that time. Kasi 12, hindi pa bumaliktad si Chis Escudero. Tapos sa mga recent na pahayag nila ngayon, hindi pa nila naipalutang nila na posible si Senador Chis Escudero ang mag-preside, tapos biglang bawi na naman. So, anong basa nyo po rito po sa kung sino to yung mag-preside dito po, attorney?
Kaya nga, if you elect a Senate President, talagang ikaw yung primus inter pares. Alam naman ng mga senators na one of the primordial responsibilities of being a Senate President is to preside, especially so in an impeachment process. That to me, that has connection to the job of a Senate President. So, if you elect a Senate President, you have to bear in mind that he or she must be capable to preside an impeachment proceeding.
Marami pa rin po ang nagsasabi na mahalaga daw po ang impeachment kaysa dito sa flood control. Bakit hindi na lang pagsabayin? Attorney, anong basa niyo po rito? Kasi sabi nila, pag parang panlihis daw ang flood control sa impeachment. Marami namang nagsasabi ng impeachment panlihis dito sa issue ng flood control. Bakit hindi na lang pagsabayin? Attorney, ano masasabi mo?
Kaya nga ang reason diyan bakit nagkagulo sila Kasi they are really, itong majority ngayon, who are under the direction of Malacanang, parang sinurinder na nila yung independence ng Senado na kung if those great senators, kung babangon pa sa kanilang libingan, they will really parang iiyak dito. Kasi hindi yan ang talagang Senate na pinaglaban natin. Nalaman, can you recall yung historic votes ng magnificent senators, yung those senators who voted against the extension of the U.S. bases. Notwithstanding that the president at the time, Cory Aquino, even went to the Senate to plead for the ratification of the U.S. bases agreement. But at that time, the Senate stood its ground and showed to the country of its being independent. Kaya nga, yan ang history ng Senado. Pero ngayon, parang ginigive up na nila. So makikita natin na pinag-awayan nila, not because of, to me, secondary na itong impeachment. Ito talaga is to cover up this monumental crime, unprecedented crime. Hindi pa nangyari sa history ng ating bansa itong pagnanakaw na trillions talaga. It's really a great injustice sa ating lahat. Kasi these monies, these billions or trillions, sabi nila, would have been used for lahat ng mga pangangailangan natin. Gamot, hospitals, mga roads, bridges, infrastructure, nawala yan. Parang bula. And then, napunta sa packets ng mga corrupt officials. So, ngayon, nakita natin yung testimony ng mga 18 Marines. Meron pala mga senators dyan na nakatanggap din. So, ay talagang there is really a grand conspiracy to whitewash or to cover up this monumental crime. At ngayon, inuuna pa yung impeachment na talagang there is no other motive except to decimate the support of Sara Duterte and to eliminate the Dutertes from the political scene, from the political battlefield. Hindi naman yan ang diwa at espiritu ng demokrasya. So malinaw na dapat sana ang unahin ay itong malaking krimen na nagawa sa ating bansa. Pero paano man, kung ang mga mismo siguro mag-investigate ay sila rin ay involved din yan. So makita natin na they do not want themselves to be also the subject of an investigation. Kaya nga, this is the first time that the Senate is so divided at saka yung kanilang nawala na yung kanilang camaraderie. Normally, mag-away-awayan sila pero magkaibigan pa rin kasi they belong to one chamber institution ng Senado. Pero ngayon, nakita mo unprecedented din ito. I don't know paano ito, how will this end? I just hope. We always pray, we always hope. Kasi, Admar, dito tayo para di tayo mawala ng pag-asa. Those who hope in the Lord will renew our strength and we will soar with wings like eagles. We will run but we will not grow weary. Yun lang talaga ang ating panlaban natin ngayon. Nakita natin yung mga forces of evil
Opo.
who are trying to prevent the unmasking of these criminals na talagang who really betrayed who betrayed us, the Filipino people.
Apo, attorney, huling topic na lamang po, usaping political po ito, no? Kunin ko lang yung masasabi nyo po rito. Kasi si Congressman Egay Erice, tinutulan niya yung posibleng alyansa ng Liberal Party at Marcos administration. Wala pa bang alyansa? Parang meron na. Baka mapansin mo yan, meron na alyansa. Sabi dito ni Congressman Erice, nagbabala siya laban sa anumang planong pakikipag-alyansa ng Liberal Party sa administrasyon ng Marcos Jr. hanggat hindi umano nalilinaw ang mga alegasyon ng malawakang katiwalian sa mga flood control at iba pang infrastructure projects. Ayon kay Erice, taliwas sa mga prinsipyo ng LP, nakabatay sa transparency, accountability at good governance ang pakikipag-alyansa kung hindi mo na mapapanagot ang sangkot sa mga irregularidad sa paggastos ng pondo ng bayan. Sa mga pangyayari po ngayon, attorney, lumalabas ba na maraming mga ipokrito na mga politiko?
Sinabi mo na yan eh. Lalo na yung mga Aquino bearing, yung mga pamilya talaga nila like Bob Aquino, yung Howard D, yung
Aquino D. Opo.
Di basta mahiya sa kanilang great uncle ba yun o grandfather. Until alam mo, Admar, ako sa akin lang one of my inspirations noon was to watch the speech of Ninoy Aquino in Los Angeles before he was assassinated. Parang bang galit tayo, especially so that when he was assassinated, the people, ako ngayon, at that time, I was a young college student. Doon ang parang bang nagmulat yung kaisipan ko ba about injustices, yung mga political persecution. Kaya nga, I was one of those who celebrated the EDSA. Pero ngayon EDSA is dead. Kasi yung mga science, yung mga dapat inheritors of that glorious family names, sila naman ngayon ang parang enablers na. Paano na, how can they reconcile what their great uncle or grandfather at sa grandmother or tita, what they fought for. Sabi pa nga ni Ninoy Aquino, this country is worth dying for. Now, is it in really, meron ba itong meron ba bang connection yan sa what they are doing right now to nakipag-alyansa, lalo na ngayon sa issue on graft and corruption na talo pa yung graft and corruption allegedly or yung reported against by committed by the father of our president now. So, yun ang parang pinaglaban ni Ninoy Aquino at saka ni Cory Aquino. Tama yung sinabi ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, pahiram naman yung laban. Kasi lumalaban tayo noon Ngayon dapat sila ang mangunguna sa laban na ito, pero sila naman ang nangunguna na matakpan itong malaking krimen na ginawa against the Filipino people. So, it's really hypocritical at saka masakit iisipin na bakit nangyari ito. Kaya nga, yung bang sinira nila yung pangalan ni Ninoy Aquino at saka ni the late Cory Aquino.
Opo. Attorney, daghang salamat sa imong oras o gigayon amping sa kanunay.